Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another video. So in this one here, I wanted to give my review for episode 14. Obviously, this is going to be a non-spoiler review. I do want to talk about spoilers, and it does suck that we have to wait until Sunday. Like, when certain things happen, big moments happen, like, it does suck to have to wait until the Sunday, but the majority of people do wait until Sunday, and, like, to me, Walking Dead's always been a Sunday thing, so I'm okay with waiting. It's just with this, I want to talk about it. Like, I have so many theories and ideas as to how the last two episodes are going to go, and I want to talk about it already. So I'm definitely going to be talking about that in my episode 15 trailer breakdown. I watched the trailer already. It's amazing. And so I'm going to post my trailer breakdown, obviously, coming this Sunday, as well as an episode 14 review, like spoiler talk review. And so we'll get into everything here, because episode 14 does a lot. It sets up the final arc perfect, or not the final arc, but the final part of the story perfectly. And it does seem like bad things are about to happen, like really bad things. And I have some theories as to how it's going to end very soon. And I don't think Fear the Walking Dead's ending anytime soon. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying the show is going to end very soon, but I feel like something is about to happen with the show that could potentially catch us up anyways with the Walking Dead's timeline. And I think it could be smart, and I think it could be why this storyline was introduced in the first place, was to catch them up to that timeline. And yeah, like I said, I can't talk about it too much right now, but I just have this feeling, and I think a lot of you guys do too. Like, I've seen this reaction online where after episode 14, you just got this bad feeling that, like, okay, Teddy's plans, like what Teddy is planning to do, I think it might actually happen. And I don't know what that means for the group, but like, it seems like this is most likely going to happen now at this point. So obviously this is a non-spoiler review, so I do want to stress that, like, I'm not going to talk about anything with spoilers. I'm just going to be giving you a non-spoiler review of what I thought about this episode, give my thoughts on things. And if you are a member of the channel, I did just post my actual reaction and commentary to tonight's episode, or but to today's episode, or this Sunday's episode. So if you're interested in that, you can become a member of the channel. I have my reaction and commentary. I also do a review kind of at the end of that. It's more of a spoiler review, I guess, but it's just more of my thoughts on the episode. And we will also be doing a members only live stream this Sunday to talk about this episode, because I believe the weekend after, they're going to be taking a break for a little bit. And so we're going to have a lot to talk about then. And then, yeah, episode 15 and 16 look to be really great. I'm so excited for Fear the Walking Dead. But let's just jump into this. Let's talk about episode 14. So this episode, and I guess I could talk about some things, because some things were actually shown in the opening minutes, which was released like online, and there was like trailers and all that. I can talk about some stuff that you guys already know. And that is, yes, Teddy's backstory was given, and they do a lot more with Teddy in this episode. Like, they actually do quite a bit with the character, to the point where he is my favorite villain, I would say, in a long time. And I don't want to like jump the gun and say that he's my favorite of all time, but there's something about this guy that is just so charismatic. It's his attitude, his demeanor, how confident he is. But it's not just that either. It's the showrunners and like the director and editors and stuff. The way they crafted the music in this scene, everything is so perfect. There's a few scenes in this episode, especially the final scene. The music in that scene is so creepy. It is so just like, it's haunting. And that's where I got that bad feeling of like, okay, yeah, I don't want to get into spoilers, but I don't have a good feeling about, yeah. And Teddy is just a phenomenal character. He really is such a great character. And, I hope he's a part of the series going into season 7. I really do. I just have this feeling that he's not going to be, because of his plans and stuff, and because of what they're trying to do, right? But the opening minutes, what they set up with his mother and the stuff that happens in this episode is so perfect. It's such a good episode. And I actually mentioned this in my reaction or commentary track, but I do kind of prefer Teddy over Alpha and Beta. And it's not like Alpha and Beta are awesome villains. They really are. Samantha Morton's amazing. Ryan Hurst is just awesome. But it's more of the fact that Teddy's ideology, like who he is and their plan and their whole cult, it's explained so well in the show. Whereas with the Whisperer arc, I feel like we never really got that. There was no real motive behind the Whisperers. We did get some stuff, but it wasn't completely hashed out like it has been on Fear the Walking Dead, where we really see what they're trying to do And it's so captivating to watch the show right now. On The Walking Dead, it felt like it was very much a part of this war, right? Like it was a whisperer war. And All Out War, I think, failed at that too, but even more so because it really was just straight action, and it lost a lot of its, I guess, the point of it, I would say. And the Whisperer arc never really, in season 9, it was set up very well, especially with the Whisperer Pike scene. They had all of these things here, and you really felt like, yeah, don't mess with Alpha. Like, she gave them a lot of warnings, but I think in season 10 they kind of lost a little bit of, I guess, the Whisperer's motivation, right? Like, it kind of just, especially in the second half, you kind of lost all of that. It was just very much an all-out war. They were just going pretty nuts, and I think they could have did that a little bit better. But then again, that's kind of the comic material, right? You're following the comics. You want to get these certain moments in there, and so I would say The Walking Dead is definitely much more action focused, whereas the Fear the Walking Dead tells very just like really unique stories like this, and it's more character driven. And that's why I think Teddy's group, that's why I kind of prefer this type of storyline. It's incredible what he's trying to do. I found myself in this episode actually getting it. Like, I got it. Okay, I get what you're trying to do. I can understand why you would think these things. He's crazy, sure, but I get it. I totally understand what he's trying to do here. And again, it has to do more with the music as well, the atmosphere that the show builds around all of this, and just where all the characters are at. It's just so good. The show is so good. I don't know where they're going for the finale or what's going to happen with this, but I also kind of have a feeling, and I hope that does happen. Like, I hope the missile does go off. I really do. And I think what that could, like, I can't talk about it, so that's getting into spoilers, but I think what they could do here would be actually pretty amazing. I think they could easily set up something here where season 7 changes the show and takes it into a whole new direction, because it's so fascinating to think of where this show started in the beginning. When you think of season 6, it started off with Virginia's group. It was totally unrelated to where we're at right now. Like, they focused on something, like, I thought this story was going in a direction where you just took out Virginia's people, but it was more like war focused. Like, I'm looking back to episode 8, I think it was, or episode 8 or 9. I think it was episode 8 where, or maybe it was episode 9. Anyways, you had Grace on the ground and a bunch of other people on the ground. Virginia had that like Lucille like lineup, right? And I kept thinking this was like the main focus, but no, so fast they got out of that scenario into this the new beginning group, into Teddy's group, I guess. And I just can't believe how fast it happened. And so I'm interested in rewatching season 6 and just rewatching it through the context now that this was the main group, and seeing where we're going with all of this. We learned about this group a long time ago. All that stuff with the rats with Dwight and Althea earlier in the season, that stuff was all connected. But now I'm just very fascinated in like exactly how connected was it. I mean, obviously they cleverly planned all of this all out. Like, they planned everything out completely, and they know where they're going with this show right now, and they know exactly what is happening in the finale. It's been building up to this moment, and because nothing has really happened yet, this is why I think that missile or nuke is going to go off. I think it's going to go off in the finale, potentially episode 15. We'll have to wait and see, but I think it's going to go off very soon. And I don't know what that does for season 7, but that's something that we'll talk about, obviously, because they do set up some stuff here with Teddy and some things, and I can't get into it, but in episode 14, they definitely set up some stuff that I think you could be excited about. And yeah, I really can't wait to talk about that. Besides all the Teddy stuff, to get into some of the stuff with the Madison rumors anyways, I would say definitely don't get your hopes up. Without spoiling anything, yeah, don't get your hopes up for anything. There's not really a lot there, and it's not like they outright say, no, she's not coming back or anything. It's just that there's not really a lot there. And in the synopsis, it says that Alicia runs into some old friends. That is true. And there's some fun scenes there. I think you guys are going to enjoy with that. I didn't really recognize who those characters were. I had no idea who they were, but yeah, I guess I won't go into it too much more, but there's some really fun scenes there, some really interesting stuff. This episode is really held up by Teddy and Alicia. It's their episode. They're just amazing in this episode. And as you know from the trailer, Dakota does play a role, and she is also really awesome in this episode. There's some more clarification with her. You do learn a lot more of her motives and what the future is going to be like for her. And so I'm really interested in seeing what's actually going to happen next, because they end off in a really interesting way where I'm like, yeah, I'm excited. I think all the characters are kind of at their destination right now, especially with what happens there at the end. Like, combine what I know there also with having watched the episode 15 trailer, like, they are going to something. There is something that might actually happen in not next week's episode, but the week after, episode 15. Something might happen there, and I very much am excited. So overall, was this a really great episode? Yes. I would say this is my favorite episode of the second half, which I can't believe I'm saying, but it's true. This episode was just phenomenal. It was so good. And I really hope that episode 15 and 16 can continue that. And I have a feeling it's going to. Fear the Walking Dead at this point just doesn't disappoint me anymore. I'm sure there's going to be some episodes that do that. But I am wondering if there's going to be a point in this show, in a television show, where it does go back to the way they used to tell stories and it just sucks again. I still have those feelings about the show. It does suck that like the previous seasons were just so bad. Early season 5 was so bad that it's just, I have that feeling like every time I watch an episode where I'm so surprised it's so good. I'm like, oh my God, the show's so good now. Like, it's a constant reminder every episode. It's so weird. But they are getting to the point now with the show where it's like, yeah, you know what? Like, they've kind of earned it at this point. The show is just, it's a really great show. And I can't wait to see what's next. So if you've watched the episode, post all your thoughts down below. Hope you guys all enjoyed the video. Make sure to be a subscriber if you do want more Walking Dead content like this. And I'll see you guys in the next one.